Holiday on the Buses was the last On the Buses spin-off film made in 1973, the last of the three they made. They filmed this from early May 1973 to early June 1973. 2 weeks filming in the studios, 2 weeks up north in North Wales. So this is the holiday camp they filmed at, Pontins, Prestatyn Sands. As you can see, the buildings are still there the same, just a little bit of cosmetic differences over the years. Stan and Jack arriving at the camp here. Note the houses and the Clwydian hills in the background. Still there to this day, just the odd tree or two now growing there, blocking the view somewhat. The gates here, note the different colour that they are today, and the lanterns on the tops of the pillars have changed. And there you can see a plaque that's been placed there by the Welsh Green Heritage. And they placed that to denote that the Holiday on the Buses was filmed there. The security offices right next to the gates, still there to this day. Door is now hinged down the left-hand side, not the right-hand side. Blakey here inspecting the security staff. The building in the background is the swimming pool complex, still there to this day. Just a few changes. And here we see them walking through the holiday camp. And the nurses looking out of the first aid room there. It's no longer a first aid room, but it was in 1973. Now, Stan on the phone, you're led to believe this is at the holiday camp when he's phoning the family. It wasn't. This was filmed back at Elstree Studios in an admin block. Here you can see the flight of stairs behind him. Mavis and her mum cycling through the holiday camp. On the left-hand side, again, you see the swimming pool complex. Still there today. Family here, you would think they're in North Wales approaching the camp, but this road here is actually in Borehamwood, the southwest corner of Borehamwood, Barnet Lane, so only about a mile southwest of Elstree Studios. Now we head back to North Wales. Here we see the bus heading along a country road. Note the changes on the right there. There's a big Premier Inn being built there. Station Road, Rhuddlan. This is St Asaph Road now, where we see the motorbike heading along, a dual carriageway. Exactly as is today, no changes really. It's just southwest of the town of Rhuddlan. So we head into the town of Rhuddlan now. We see the bus about to overtake the motorbike. This is the Rhuddlan Bridge here on Station Road. And this is from the other end of the bridge, looking westwards. Note it has been made a single lane bridge now. So it's no longer two lanes of traffic going across. We've got a traffic light system at both ends. Here we see the cases getting lost over the Rhuddlan Bridge. We're ending up in the River Clwyd. No real changes there at all. Note here when they go in to fetch the suitcases around the other side of the bridge. Note the muddy and rocky surface that they're standing on. It's now a much more grassy river bank there. Now we see them arriving at the holiday camp, turning on to Barkby Avenue, coming down towards the gates. No real changes there at all, aside from the blue cycle path on the left-hand side. And arriving at there, being shown to the chalet by Stan. The chalet block was where they done the bulk of their filming, but they did not do internal filming. That was all done back at Elstree Studios. The bar area, this was at Prestatyn, Pontins, Prestatyn Sands. Notice how it wraps around. It's still there to this day, the wraparound bar, although it doesn't wrap around quite as much as it did in 1973. The swimming pool complex. Not a real great deal of difference here, aside from the window arrangements being blotted out with yellow panelling. But the tiling on the surface here, you can see is exactly as was in 1973. You can work out where the cast was standing, looking at the different patterns of the tiles as well. and you can work out exactly where Arthur's standing there by his foot, right next to two bricks, maroon coloured bricks, which you see just under the word Barkby there. So that is where Olive got pushed into the pool. This is Rhyl. This is the High Street in Rhyl. Note the bank on the right hand side. It's now a building society, but sadly this road now has been pedestrianised, so a bus would not be able to travel down there now. Here the bus travels along the West Parade in Rhyl. They notice a big building in the background, the Rhyl Pavilion, that has now been demolished. That was demolished a year after filming was finished here. Closed in 1974. This is the Fford Harbour Bridge. Notice it's no longer battleship grey, more of a powder blue colour it's been painted. But apart from that, unchanged. We now head to when the bus stops at a waterfall, and Dyserth Waterfall. Apologies if I got the pronunciation wrong there. Note that's still there to this day, the tree and the waterfall in the background obviously. And we see Stan rushing the passengers back on the bus. Note the two hills on the houses on the hillside there in the background, still unchanged. And the Waterfall shop, that is still there as well, unchanged to this day. As you can see, still there and still open. And the front of the shop where Olive comes out with her candy floss and all other sorts of goodies. Still unchanged apart from the slight change to the colour scheme that it's painted. Now we head back onto St Asaph Road where we see the bus do a U-turn across the central reservation. Still there to this day, the grass is just a little bit longer. Apart from that, everything else unchanged. Then we see the bus head off of St Asaph Road, down a road that's actually unnamed. It's actually a dead end where that bus is heading down. It always was a dead end, but obviously it just suited for the scene. Now here we see on Greg Road, the bus goes under a railway bridge. There's a railway bridge today. Heading in the other direction up the same road, Greg hits some overhanging trees, and there's that area today. Greg again. This is the bus heading in the other direction. Note the house in the distance there, the White House. There it is today, helping to pinpoint this location. Here we see Stan running up to Mavis's flat, her chalet on the upper level. Pinpointed just by the angle of the chalet block in the background. It's the only one that angles off angle from all the other chalet blocks and the whole of the camp. And there is the Mavis's chalet today. From the other angle, you may think this looks totally different, but the chalet block where you see people watching telly in the background has long since been demolished, as has the other one in the background as well. There have been chalet blocks that have been removed over the years at Pontins. Now when we see Stan and Jack larking around, dancing, about to go into Pester Blakey, that was filmed again back at the admin block in the Elstree studios. Not at Pontins, as some people think, not at Pontins Prestatyn Sands. The scenes here for the training for the old time dancing, that was in the ballroom at Pontins Prestatyn Sands. It's a much darker look today. Now we see the Boating Lake for the first time. Boating Lake is now no longer there. Structurally it is, but it's been drained and it is now a go-kart track. Now when we see Blakey getting towed away by a donkey, again, not at Pontins Prestatyn Sands. This was on the back lot at Elstree Studios, now part of Tesco Extra car park. The houses on the other side of the trees were the giveaway to this location. Head back up to the holiday camp again, and the amusement arcade. This area now is a coffee shop. The amusement arcade's been moved elsewhere. Now we see Mum and Bert walking through the reception area. The pillar that they walk past is still there. The reception area has been turned 90 degrees in the reception area of the camp. Stan and Jack walking through the camp. Note the swimming pool in the background. There it is, still there to this day. As I say, the window arrangements changed a bit there. And an addition of a merry-go-round as well. Now this is inside the first aid room, in the waiting area. It's now used to store the tricycles that they hire at the camp, store and repair the tricycles. And this is in that same building. Note today that all the dividing walls have been taken down to make it a larger storing area. We will see the drains blow up just outside the butler's chalet. You can see a view right across to the main building there in between the chalet blocks. That's how you're able to pinpoint that this was the location that they filmed at. Stan and Jack with a toilet walking through the holiday camp. The giveaway here is a long line of chalet blocks all lined up in the background. And that was the pointer to this being the location. Note this location, note right above the top of the chalet block and the furthest away you can see the top of the hills poking over the top there. That was the big clue to finding this location. That's the only chalet block that has the hills just above them. This is Olive going to the toilet. Again, once again, not at the holiday camp. This was actually filmed again at the admin block at Elstree Studios. Stan and Jack at the staff canteen area. It was the bona fide staff canteen area for the Pontins staff, but today no longer so. It is now just a storage area. Again, we head back to Stan coming downstairs here. Again, not the holiday camp, but the admin block at Elstree Studios. Now we see Stan with Maria at the manager's house. This was actually filmed in an actual house, which is still there to this day. Note the brick wall in the background, brick wall feature. Pretty unique, and the spiral staircase that it had here, which was a help in finding this location. Still there to this day, the spiral staircase. One of the very rare times that they actually did film in an actual house for a scene. There you can see the spiral staircase there. Still there to this day. And note the door there with the frosted glass windows, and then the panels on the glass panels on either side. Again, still there to this day at the property, which is in Prestatyn on Hillside. And note this is in the back garden of that property. Still very much the same, apart from the path is now gone and like a crazy paving path has been put in there. Stan getting attacked now. This was in the actual canteen area again. There it is today. It's now just used as a storeroom to repair stuff from the holiday camp. Now we head back to the nurse's first aid room. This is a treatment room. Again, there you can see used to store and repair the tricycles in use at the holiday camp. Now we see the holiday camp manager with Blakey walking past the swimming pool in the background. Note the changes here. Now there's easy access for anybody in wheelchairs to go be pushed into the swimming pool complex. And there you can see Stan. This is the swimming pool just behind them there. There it is today with the houses in the background as well. Note there's been a merry-go-round has been added there as well over the years. Now this is Stan getting prodded into the boating lake. There it is, as is today, the boating lake. Then he gets chased and helped out by a boy. That was all ad-libbed, not in the script. But note the chalet block in the background there has undergone some changes, some renovations with French doors added to it. Then we see Stan run up between two chalet blocks. Note the newly planted flower plant beds there. And look how much it's grown to this day. It's grown a heck of a lot. Blakey here, when he finally gets sacked, gets pulled off by Mr. Coombs at this location here. And he gets pointed on his way. Now note that there's a difference here. Note the chalet block there. You can see a rear of a chalet block. That has been demolished over the years. There's trees grown there in its place. The family now leaving the holiday camp. And there it is today. A lot more trees growing on the left-hand side of the road there. Family then go back over the same bridge again, Rhuddlan Bridge and Station Road. There it is today. And they go on to lose their cases again in the middle of the bridge. Note the castle in the background, still there to this day, of course. Now this scene here was filmed on Barkby Beach. If you notice a little white dot on the hillside, there was a house. You can just see it in the now picture. It was on Barkby Beach. This was filmed in Prestatyn, not far from the holiday camp. Here you see just Stan and Jack coming up to check on the bus. You can see the holiday camp in the background and the Clwyddian Hills there also. And there it is today. So I hope you all enjoyed this run through the filming locations for Holiday on the Buses, and I'll say goodbye.